Okay, chapter 3 is on inequalities. Inequalities are like equations, except they don't equal. They have less than or greater than signs, or less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to signs. Okay, I'm going to write down what each of these symbols mean to remind you, because it may have been a while. Okay, that first symbol there means is less than, and you read it from left to right. Sometimes it might say is lower than, is fewer than. There's more than one way to say it, but it means that the number on the left is less than the number on the right. Okay, the other one, the one just under it, we normally say is greater than. Could also be is more than, is taller than, is hotter than, something is bigger than the other one. Okay, for the last two inequalities, they have this extra line under that. The extra line means it could also be equal to. So this is less than or equal to. Okay, so that means that the second one has the greater than sign with an extra little line under that. So it means it's greater than or equal to. Okay, so for example 1, we're just going to look at these expressions, these inequalities, and see whether they're true or false, considering what each of the symbols mean. Okay, so for this one, let's see, look at this symbol. This symbol is this symbol, so it means is greater than. So is 2 greater than 5? Is 2 higher on the number line than 5? Is 2 more than 5? That's false. 2 is not more than 5. Okay, let's consider the next one. Okay, let me look up this symbol first. This symbol is this symbol. It says, is -7 less than or equal to 3? It's definitely not equal to 3. Now, is it less than 3? Okay, if you look at the number line, -7 is lower than 3 on the number line. So this is true. Let's look at this symbol. This symbol is this symbol. So is -5, saying -5 is less than -3. If I think about a number line, is the -5 lower than -3 on the number line? Yes, it is. So this must be a true statement. Okay, let's look at this next one. This is the symbol. That's this one. So greater than or equal to. Is -4 greater or equal to 0? It's definitely not equal to 0. Is -4 greater than 0? No, because it's a negative. Negative is lower. So this is false. Okay, let's look at this. This symbol is this one. So is 6 less than or equal to 6? Well, 6 is equal to 6. So that works. This is true. Is it less than or equal to 6? It's not less than, but it is equal, so that still counts. Okay, one more. This symbol is this one. So is 4 less than 4? No, it's not less than 4. So it's false. Okay, for example 2, it says check if the given value is a solution to the inequality. Inequalities have infinite solutions. So this is saying, is this one of the solutions? Okay, so I'm just going to substitute the value they give me in for x. So it tells me x is 7. So where the x is, I'm going to replace it with 7. I'll bring down the rest of this inequality. And let me think about this. 7 plus 6 is 13. That's symbol 11. Okay, if I check that symbol, that's less than or equal to. Is 13 less than or equal to 11? It's not less than 11. It's not equal to 11. So no, this is not a solution to the inequality. Okay, we're going to try the next one the same way. They give me an x value, and they want me to say whether this is a solution to this inequality. So I'm going to plug it in right here. 5 minus 2 times, see, x is -3. That symbol 10. See, minus 2 times minus 3 is positive. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. That symbol 10. Okay, if I don't remember that symbol, I'm going to go look at my list real quick. This one is this one. So is 11 greater than 10? Yeah, 11 is bigger than 10. So yes, that would be a solution to that inequality. Okay, now for inequalities, because there's so many solutions, we graph them on a number line. And we use a shaded region to show all the possible solutions. Okay, before we start doing this, you've all done this before. Okay, these are the ones that have closed circles and open circles on it. And when I say closed circle, I mean a colored in circle. Open circle is not colored in. Okay, it's a closed circle if it's allowed to equal the critical number we talk about. So the two inequalities that have equals indicate a closed circle on the critical number. Okay, if it does not have an equals, like this one or this one, then it will have an open circle on the critical number. Okay, let's look at the first one so we can see what we're talking about. Okay, here's my expression. The inequality says x is greater than 7. Okay, because 7 is in the inequality, that's my critical number. So I'm going to put 7 on my number line. Okay, for my class, I like you to include 2 other numbers on your number line. So if I go to the right, one higher than 7 is 8. And if I go lower than 7, I get 6. Okay, it doesn't have to be these 3 numbers, but I want to see 3 numbers on here. Okay, let's look at this symbol. The first thing I do is I look at this and I say, do I put an open circle or a closed circle? Okay, let's look. This symbol is this symbol, so I do an open circle. So on the mark on the number line where the 7 is, I put an open circle. Okay, X represents the shaded region or all the possible solutions to this inequality. So let me look at this inequality. If you forget what it means, check your list above. This means greater than. Okay, so this is telling me shade all the X values that are greater than 7. Okay, so let me look at my 2 directions. I could go towards the 6 or the 8. Is 6 greater than 7 or is 8 greater than 7? 8's greater than 7. So all the numbers greater than 7 are going to be on this side. Okay, and I do color in the arrow because there's more numbers that are greater than 7 up there. 7, 8, 9, 10. A million is also greater than 7, and that's to the right. This is what your number line should look like. Okay, B says x is greater or equal to -1. Okay, the critical number is -1, so -1 has to be on your number line. It doesn't have to be in the middle, but it does have to be on your number line. I like you to label 3 points on the number line. Okay, let's see. What's higher than -1? 0. What's lower than -1? -2. Okay, next I'm going to look at the symbol and decide whether I want to do a closed circle and open circle. Okay, this symbol is this symbol, which means I'm going to do a closed circle. And it goes on the number line where the -1 mark is. Okay, what does this say? This says the solutions or the shaded region are greater than -1. So I want to go towards the numbers that are greater than -1. Okay, is -2 greater than -1? Or is 0 greater than -1? Okay, 0 is greater than -1 because these are the positives. 1 is greater than -1, 2 is greater than -1, 25 is greater than -1. And I'm going to put an arrow because this goes forever in that direction, and all those numbers are greater than or equal to -1. Okay, let's do a few more. Okay, this says n is less than or equal to 3. It doesn't matter the variable, the way I do it's the same. The critical number is 3, so I'm going to make sure 3 is on my number line, and I want 2 other points labeled. Let's see, to the right of 3 is 4, to the left is 2. Let's see. Open or closed? This is this, so I'm going to make it closed. At the 3 is the important number. Okay, now this symbol is less than or equal to. So I want to shade lower than 3. Okay, which numbers are lower than 3? Oh, towards the 2. The 2 is lower than 3, 1, 0. All those numbers are lower than 3. So I shade them all and I shade the arrow too. Okay, D says x is less than -11. Okay, so I'm going to put -11 on my number line because that's the critical number. 2 other points on my number line. Let's see, if I go to the right of -11, I get -10. If I go to the left, I get more negative, which is -12. Okay, let me think about if this is open or closed. Okay, this thing is this thing, which tells me it's open. So at -11, I'm going to make an open circle. Okay, what does it say? Shade the values that are less than -11. So lower than -11. I'm going to go this way. let's do 2 more. Okay, E says K is greater than negative 98. And this one is mostly because I want to make sure you can label your number line. So negative 98, I'm just putting it anywhere I want. Okay, now to the right of negative 98 is actually a little less negative. So it's negative 97. If I go lower than negative 98, I go to negative 99. It becomes more negative. Okay, is this open or closed? This is open. Okay, and then let's see what this is saying. It's saying the solutions or the shaded region is greater than negative 8, or the shaded region is higher than negative 8. So I want to shade the numbers that are higher than negative 8. Okay, negative 97, negative 96, negative 20. Forever in that direction is positive. Okay, now the last one's a little tricky. Okay, but the critical number's at 3. Okay, to the right of 3 is 4. Down from it's 2. Is this open or closed circle? Let's check. Let's see. That symbol is closed. So on the 3, I'm going to put a 3. Okay, there's a couple ways to do this. I'm going to get the same answer both ways. Okay, the first thing, this is saying 3 is less than or equal to the answers. 3 is less than or equal to the shaded region. 3 is lower than the shaded region. So 3 has to be lower than the shaded region. Okay, if 3 is lower than the shaded region, then the shaded region must be higher. So it's going to go in this direction. Okay, 3 is lower than 4, 3 is less than 5, 3 is less than 6. All the numbers on the right side work. So I could think about it that way, and that's one way to do it. Okay, the other way you could do this is normally we put the variable first and the number second. This one's kind of written backwards. I can flip it around if I would like, if it makes it easier. I can put the n on the left and the 3 on the right, but the symbol in the middle, when I flip it, is going to change. It's going to go in the opposite direction. Okay, because before this was saying 3 is lower than the shaded region. Now this is saying the shaded region is higher than 3. It's saying the same thing, it's just saying it in 2 different ways.